All right, let's go. The 2 games this weekend that I grabbed off the sheet. I think there's a total of like 4. But we start in the Big Ten with Nebraska 9.5-point road favorite at Illinois. The over/under on this one is 55. This one at 1:00 on Fox. Actually, no. Hold on. I skipped ahead too far ahead because we didn't even run down the conference champions and all that fun stuff. So hold on to that one. We'll put it on the side table over here. Big Ten champion. We'll start in the Big Ten conference since we're already kind of talking about them. To me, this one's easy. Ohio State. Kyle.
And anybody else picking anything different?
Anyone? OSU? No.
I mean, Wisconsin's fun.
That's true. And I mean, their loss at Soldier Field in week 3 is not going to be a conference loss, so they'll be all right there. Matt, Ohio State as well?
Yep, sadly. Better than Penn State, I guess.
Always. ACC, anybody but Clemson? Anyone? No.
In earnest, and I don't mean to make a pun about our good friend Ernest Julius Christian. No, it's not Julius. It's a joke. From the Earnestly Speaking podcast and all. But in earnest, if De'Aaron King hadn't suffered the brutal injury against Oklahoma State and the best mullet in the United States, Mike Gundy, I would have that conversation about, if Trevor Lawrence's replacement doesn't come back and they're not so strong, but then at the end of the day, they probably blow games anyway. So yeah, I got Clemson.
And I mean, but also like the Wisconsin, the ass kicking Florida State's going to have in 12 days is not going to be a conference loss this year either. So they're one leg up.
All I can say is Mackenzie Milton now makes 2 American conference starters that are playing in the ACC now. Moving on.
Very nice. Matt, Clemson as well?
Correct.
All right. Then we go to the SEC. I mean, this one always gets a little cloudy near the top, but there, at least for multiple years in a row, there always seems to be one that stands out a little bit further above the rest. Alabama, that's who I'm going with. My brother Sean, he sent me his picks as well. He's in agreement so far to this point, and with Alabama. Kyle.
Do you pick against Nick Saban? That's a bad plan.
That is a bad plan.
Yeah, I'm gonna listen. I love the part where in the Citrus Bowl 2 years ago that Jim Harbaugh found a way to have Michigan leading at halftime, and that man's name
Hold on. Dana, if you're listening to this, earmuff it just for about 10 seconds.
No, I'm not talking trash. Listen, I went down on the field and saw one set of linemen and the other set of linemen, and the ones that made me feared for my life were not wearing blue and yellow. The fact that they were ahead at the half was impressive, and they still lost. But no, listen, listen, I'm not betting against Nick Saban, not this year. Heavens no.
Matt.
I am going to bet against Nick Saban this year. I think he just lost a little too much in the draft this year, a little more so than he's normally used to. So I think this is the year that Georgia finally does it. They've done it before, but they do it again.
Listen, Matt, I love that pick. Wow. They open the season with Clemson too. So I know you're going to be cheering for an early Clemson loss, because at the end of the day, let's be honest, if Clemson loses that game, they'll just rise back to the top because it's the ACC. If
Correct.
Georgia loses that game, they're in
bigger hurdle.
Yeah, and that's the main. Actually, it sucks, but that week 1 is the big reason I'm not as brave of you. I did have as one. What is it? Ray Charles said I did have Georgia on my mind.
The nice thing about Georgia, though, too, is they have that SEC schedule. So any win they get from that loss beyond Clemson is just going to elevate them back up.
Correct.
Easily.
That's a very fair point, sir. Absolutely.
Yeah, and if you don't get absolutely smoke bombed, you're still going to be, I actually haven't even peeked at the preseason top 25, but I assume Georgia's up there, and if you have so if you have a close loss to Clemson, you're probably still going to be in the top 10. So you're still in conversations there as well.
North Carolina's in the top 10. It's a farce. Moving on.
Oh yeah, I could do a full show on preseason rankings, but today's not the day for that. Maybe we'll get to that another time. Pac-12. My brother and I, we both think this is finally the year that Clay Helton and company win what is probably the worst conference in the Power Fives. Because USC has the talent. It's never a lack of talent. In Southern California, it's just a matter of putting everything together. So I had it written down. My brother had it written down as well. Maybe it's a good thing we're on the mental wavelength. I don't know, but we have USC in the Pac-12. Kyle.
The winner of USC Oregon. Can I say that? No.
I mean, you can say that, but who's going to win? That's what I'll say to that question.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, you kind of got to pick USC by default, don't you? I mean, they're kind of the premier. What's going on there? And not because they're West Coast, just because of the schools that make them up. I don't really follow. Maybe they'll be competing with UCLA, possibly. I listen. I got USC, but let's just say the third best American team could beat their conference champion this year. Watch.
There you go, Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to go with USC as well, just so we see a huge, massive contract extension for Clay Helton. Keep him around forever, too. Pretty please, USC. He's a gem. Great coach. You don't want to lose someone like that. But yeah, USC.
Do you have the Simpsons theme on your soundboard there? Because
I don't.
Because you need to accommodate all these homers.
That works.
Months, hell yes.
All right. Let's go to the Big 12 while there's still a conference. My brother has Oklahoma. I have a team that I think will pull one of their traditional and classic upsets when in the Big 12 title game, and that's Iowa State. I think Iowa State's and it's not that they're a great football team, because they're not, but they will hang around with them. They'll be better than Texas. They'll get into the title game, and they'll pull one of those wacky Big 12 upsets. That is another one of the reasons why that conference never is in a playoff.
And it's like 55-56, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, it's and that's with the one defensive series. Yes. Kyle, we go to you.
It's not a bad defensive series. It's a missed kick. No. Iowa State. Listen, I think that's adorable. The only reason why I don't put them in the dictionary next to overrated is because Washington's over there, but Iowa State is damn sure in the syllabus, or excuse me, in the thesaurus. There we go.
Gotcha.
I meant to say synonym and I said syllabus, and it's all wrong. That would have been great if I got it right. Anyways, so yeah, thesaurus for overrated is the point. I have no idea. Yes, exactly. Fortunately, I think you're the head of HR, so if you're under the influence of any mind-altering drugs, you're perfectly safe. So yeah, of course it's Oklahoma. Who the hell else? Oh, wait. I mean, again, it's not defense, but on the rare occasions it happens, the only two schools I've seen play defense are Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. I got Oklahoma.
There you go, Matt.
Before I make my pick, I will say, Jim, that not very good Iowa State team is ranked 2 spots higher than Notre Dame. So let's pump the brakes a little bit.
Well, as we've already proven, preseason rankings don't mean the paper they're printed on.
But no, I mean, Oklahoma's going to get their 2 massive upset losses out of the way early. They'll rebound. They'll beat the other teams that they face in the Big 12, and they will take down Iowa State in the championship.
All right, then we go to the AAC. Kyle, we know you have your big attention on this conference. My brother and I both have Cincinnati. I think it's a fun conference, but I think right now Cincinnati's just kind of the class of the conference at this point.
They're certainly up there. And listen, make no mistake, I know UCF fans going to do what they do, and hater fans, I should say, because they're going to whine and cry about what they got, even though they lost, lose a game, right? And I know that everybody's like, Kyle, you're a homer. No, I just cover the team. You want proof? I too think Cincinnati will win. I think UCF has too many transfers for me to feel confident that they're going to cement the conference. Now, the only thing that might play into their favor is if they make it to the conference championship. Since UConn's out and there's not an East and West right now because they don't have enough teams for it, this could put UCF in a position for a rematch. And Finkel versus Malzahn, listen, I don't give a damn who you're a fan of. Watch that conference championship game. That's two quality coaches in a clash of players that are amazing, okay? Desmond Ritter and Dylan Gabriel at the quarterbacks. Come on, guys. Listen, I got to give it press. Nobody else does. But the punchline is this. I still have Cincy winning the conference, but it's not going to be a simple run. For those that do pick UCF, I'm not going to call you a homer. That's a fine analysis. You're just doing it a lot more on faith than on facts.
There you go, Matt.
I was gonna just be different and pick Tulsa, but I think that Cincinnati is kind of the cream of the crop right now. But I do think they will get some strong tests from within that conference this year, more so than they got last year.
I respect that Tulsa respect, but I'll put it this way: if you think Alabama lost a lot in the draft, check that Tulsa defense bond.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the Heisman Trophy. And then we'll get to the college football playoff and play out through the national title. My brother has JT Daniels. He's apparently believing in USC this year. Maybe even a little bit more than me. In the off chance that I'm incorrect about something, and that being the Big 12, I'm going to go with Spencer Rattler from Oklahoma as my Heisman Trophy winner. Whether they win the conference or not. I think just in that conference with that team, with the lack of defense, I think he's going to put up just some obscene numbers, and I think we're going to see a good Heisman campaign out of Spencer Rattler. Kyle,
just because the hype train's on him is probably one of the most single overrated prospects right now. Not named the guy that. Buffalo pick Emmanuel Sanders. There we go. I forget who it was, but he got drafted by the Bills. I think he was the only quarterback drafted in the first round. The point is, Sam Howell is even more overrated than that. He's going to win the Heisman, not deservedly so. But I wouldn't be surprised if your guy Spencer wins it. I'm kind of doing it just to be contrarian to that, especially with an Oklahoma conference win, because Howell is not going to win his conference.
I got you. Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I picked Georgia to have a big year, so I'm going to go with JT Daniels.
Mm-hmm. Would not be the first former Ohio State SEC quarterback Heisman winner, by the way, in recent history, right? Think about your LSU history.
Right. There you go.
Joe Burrow, ladies and gentlemen, yes.
There you go. All right, let's go to the college football playoff. The playoff semifinal games this year are the Cotton Bowl and the Orange Bowl. For the sake of this show, we'll go Cotton Bowl 1 versus 4. We'll go Orange Bowl 2 versus 3 because I think that all gets determined at a later point anyway. So for me, in coming out of the SEC, I actually don't have the faith in Georgia. I'm going to have the LSU Tigers as the second team, sneaking their way into that. And maybe it's just my love for Coach O. I don't know. And his froggy voice.
Very bold pick.
But I'm going to go Bama and LSU in the Cotton Bowl. I'm going to go Clemson and Ohio State in the Orange Bowl. And I will get to my national championship pick later. My brother has Bama and Georgia in the Cotton Bowl and Clemson, Ohio State in the Orange Bowl. Kyle.
I'm going to match your brother, but because you did mention those LSU Tigers, I got to go do it in my Ed Oderon voice. Easily one of my favorite press conferences in all of college football. And of course, it's great to hear him say, "Hold that Tiger." But when he says the word tackle, it's a very special time to me. I actually asked him in the press conference playing Your Fighting Irish a few years ago about that big play throw by Ian Book. And he just said that his team couldn't make the tackle to stop that last big pass at the end.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Matt.
Yeah, I actually have the same 4 as your brother, Sean. I just have them reversed with Georgia up at the top.
Oh,
and
right.
Alabama at the 4 seed.
Right. Yes, sir. Okay. Respect, Matt. Okay.
And 3-loss Oklahoma will not make it, and their fans will be furious again, and then they will be like, okay, that's fair when Oklahoma loses in their New Year's Six Bowl.
Well, let me ask you this, man. What would you rather have, like as a fan, like 3 loss, didn't make it, or get your heart wrenched out by getting clobbered, being the 4th seed that you don't belong as? I mean, you know.
Well, having experienced that twice, I can tell you it's still fun to just make the dance.
Like that. Oh snap! I'm sorry.
No,
I'm trying to make fun of Oklahoma.
it's okay. It is our life. It is our reality. It's not anything that we don't know.
At this point, I just kind of enjoy they made it anyway, just because so many people get so upset about it.
That is one of the fun things.
I cover UCF. You want to talk about people getting upset about shit? Okay.
That is true. That is true. All right, let's go national championship. God, and I mean it's even. Wait, can I point to the? There we go. I'm sick of this shit, but it like lather, rinse, repeat until something changes. I don't know what the change is going to be that's going to get us out of this goddamn loophole, but Clemson and Alabama are going to be your national championship game, and I have Alabama as your national champion. My brother has Georgia and Ohio State in the national championship, and he has the Buckeyes as the national champion.
Wow.
Kyle, how about you?
Are you referencing a football team or somebody's social life? Anyways, no.
Woo!
So by default, with my George Takei being that voice is entirely too appropriate. I guess by default, I'm picking Saban. Let's move on. So
right, who are they going to play though?
Oh right. Clemson, sure. Or actually, no. I'll take Ohio State in the upset. Right.
All right, perfect. There we go. Matt, how about you?
Yeah, I picked against Saban in the conference championship. It's not going to happen 2 times in a row. It's Nick Saban. Come on, he's going to win against Georgia in that bowl game, and then he's going to defeat Clemson for his 73rd national championship since coming back to college football.
You forgot the one. It's 100.
Oh, gotcha. I do. I had to carry that one.
Like, does it even matter keeping track at this point? But yeah, eventually we'll get out of this sick loophole that college football has found itself in for a very long time. But
retirement.
Yeah.
No, I think it's going to be death, or he's going to prove us to be a robot. Whichever one comes first. But all right, let's go to the games this weekend. Nebraska -9.5 at Illinois. 55, like I said, is your over under this one. 1:00 on Fox. Boy, what a great way to start off the Big Ten slate, huh? I'll go. No, I think Nebraska wins. I'll take Illinois to cover with the under. Sure, let's do those 3 things that I sound totally confident in. Matt.
Look at Illinois still having a football program. Good for you guys. Yeah, they're going to lose big. Who are they playing? Nebraska?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nebraska wins and covers, but I will take the under on that just because I don't think Illinois will score a single point.
Well, you know, it was weird. Lovie Smith was starting to turn things around a touch in Illinois, and then not. But what I will say is
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, right. I mean, listen. He did take Rex Grossman to a Super Bowl, and no one can take that away from him.
You're not wrong.
Okay.
Those are factual statements.
You know.
Things that did happen at one time.
So, but listen, I get the doubt over an Illinois squad, but let's not forget that Scott Frost has become the coaching disappointment, going from being a Coach of the Year winner, I believe, to plummeting to the depths of the And say what you will about the national championship status of UCF, ain't nobody thinking Nebraska's even close to anything like that. His brand of football does not win in a world that relies on defense and corn-fed mules like they have in the middle of both offensive and defensive line. And that does not change when you're playing Illinois. Sure, it's a battle of mediocrity, but I got Nebraska to win, or excuse me, I got Illinois to win. If Nebraska is favored, of course Illinois is covering. I got Illinois taking it. But listen, I'm not expecting a lot of offense either. I'm with Jim to take the under.
There you go. The other one I have is Hawaii at UCLA, who's a 17.5-point home favorite. 68.5 is your over/under on this one. 3:30 on ESPN. You're looking at a 68.5 over/under line. I feel like I'm just gonna play the over because I feel like they know that there's just not going to be defense in this game. So you have a Hawaii team that usually plays offense. That's the thing they usually do there. And UCLA, sure, why not? That sounds fun. I'll go Hawaii to cover 17.5. I feel like that's a pretty big number to start a season with. So I'll go Hawaii to cover. I think UCLA still wins. But then I'll take the over as well. Matt.
I'm going to do that exact same thing. I don't think we'll see a lot of a big, strong showing of the defensive minds here. Hawaii will probably be jet lagged, I guess. It's 5-hour difference or something like that. UCLA wins, but by 2 touchdowns and no more, but 80 points combined.
Perfect. Kyle.
As somebody who's watched some of these track meets as they happen, you think 17.5 points is a big lead? It is not. I have the trifecta. I have the UCLA victory. I have the cover. I have the over on all 3.
All righty. Guys, anything else, or we're going to just close this thing out tonight?
Hey, listen, admire the bravery of the host of this show to get my trash talking self in this early in the damn season. How do you build on that?
And it will not be the last time.